This Saturday night, the 20th of February, music fans in Clare are in for a real treat as Remembering Joe, the Annual Joe Dolan Tour, comes to Glór in Ennis. The 2026 tour marks 19 years since the passing of Joe Dolan, but his music remains as popular as ever, with classics like You're Such a Good Looking Woman reaching new audiences in recent years, and his songs still celebrated by artists around the world. The show promises a nostalgic evening of hit after hit, celebrating the life and legacy of a true Irish showman. And joining us now is Joe's brother Ben, who shared the stage with him for an incredible 47 years. Ben, welcome back to the show.
Well, I'm still here in Mullingar anyway at the moment.
You're still there.
Very good. Yeah.
All good with you since we last spoke?
Oh well, everything is very good. Yeah, we're going down to the Glór on Saturday. So we hope to see all our old friends and new friends. Somebody said to me there, does any young people go to your shows? I says, all the people that go to our shows are young people. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm over retiring age at the moment.
Well, I suppose in terms of a younger audience, I mean, Joe's music is reaching younger audiences. We saw the aforementioned You're Such a Good Looking Woman recently featuring in the Disney film Cruella. I mean,
right.
How did that feel, hearing his voice reach a whole new generation, and particularly through a big Hollywood release like that?
Yeah, well, the good thing, I suppose, now is that you can get all his songs, everything he recorded is on the phone. So, I mean, if you just want to hear a Joe Dolan song, you just put in Joe Dolan, and all the information will come up, which is a great thing, because I think there's new people discovering Joe at the moment. You know, well, discovering his music. You know, he did. I mean, the majority of the stuff he recorded were all original songs, so they stood the test of time very good.
And I suppose what helps in that regard, Ben, is the number of other artists who have mentioned Joe, who've referenced him or talked about him as an influence. I mean, like, you think Robbie Williams, Damon Albarn of Blur, the late great Shane MacGowan, Morrissey, the Smiths, they've either performed Joe's songs or made reference to him, which is incredible.
I know indeed. Yeah, well, of course, in the 80s and that we did a lot of touring in the 80s. You know, I mean, out of Ireland. We're in South Africa 4 different times over 12 years. And of course we were in Russia, Moscow and Leningrad. And we did the Holy City as well, Israel. We did a tour in there. Like when we go back over, we had tours all over the place, you know. So, well, we didn't make much of them at the time, I suppose. It's only that people mightn't have remembered these tours we did do. So, I mean, we did do world tours. So I suppose he had, like, his music went down well everywhere we toured.
Even aside from, you reach, touring around the world and reaching a global audience, did Joe ever imagine his influence would stretch that far, like with all the artists I mentioned who've given him a nod, that his music would make an impression on other seriously respected musicians?
Yeah, well, I mean, it really was the original songs is really what made Joe. You know, I know we all sing covers, songs, recording covers. We did at the beginning, of course, record. I think the first tune Joe recorded was a country song, you know, the answer to everything. And I suppose it definitely was the answer to everything for us. That was back about 1963 when we recorded that, you know. But I mean, it's just that, well, I suppose country music was always popular, still popular, you know. I have a little few that I do myself. I croak them out, you know. But I mean, everybody knows I'm only 92, you know. Like,
well, I tell you what, you're doing well for that age. Of course, right. when we think of your brother Ben, we think of the legendary phrase, "There's no show like a Joe show."
A Joe show
became the famous catchphrase. What made his live performances so unique?
Well, I mean, he was a real hard worker, you know. And I mean, once he got on the stage, you know, I mean, he well, I don't know. I mean, people like, I mean, his popularity grew over the year, you know. I mean, as a person, like he was very popular as a person. And then, I mean, he had great time for people. And I mean, he loved the live shows, you know, no matter where we did them, you know, he put all his effort into it, you know. Pity he died a bit too early, though. That's well, of course, it nearly happens to everybody. Everybody dies a little bit early, you know.
But that is an important point, Ben. I mean, you know, he died relatively young, and you would say well before his time. And you know, you're still touring, which I guess would give us the sense that Joe. Do you think Joe would still be up there strutting his stuff if he were around today?
Well, I don't know. No, I'd say if he saw me, he'd say, "What are you at?" You must be mad.
He'd drag you off the stage, would he?
You know. Yeah. I know. Well, I mean, I don't know whether he would or not. You know, but I mean, there are a lot of people of his age still performing. You know. Yeah, I don't know. Is there that many performing of my age?
I suppose the way you described your brother and his love of live performance, it's kind of a drug. And I just think if he was still around today, the lure of the stage and connecting with an audience, would it be hard to resist?
Oh no! I'm sure he would. You know, I'm sure he would. Yeah. Well, I mean, he actually loved show business, but he really wasn't he wasn't looking to be a show business star. You know, I mean, he liked show business the way we did it, which meant we played 2 or 3 nights a week in Ireland round and in England and all these other shows that went on. But when we'd go away. Like, we were in Vegas. We did 2 stints in Vegas, you know, of 12 weeks. But, like, when he was there, he was coming. Now, that was hard work in Vegas because it was 2 shows a night, you know. So, and I mean, the whole show was the Joe show. You know, like, the work was, I suppose it was very hard at the time. But, I mean, well, we did it. And that's all I can say, you know. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I was everywhere. I mean, I was with Joe and the band everywhere. No matter where all the tours we did, we were together.
And for such a long time as well. I mean, nearly a half century, 47 years you shared a stage with your younger brother. You must have so many incredible memories of performing alongside him. What comes to mind when you think of all of that time?
He was 5 years younger than me, you know. So, like, he would, like, well, as he got older, I suppose we got closer.
But was there still that older younger brother dynamic? Even though he was the big star, did he still defer to you on things?
He was. Oh no! Very early on, I discovered that Joe had the X Factor, and I thought I should stick to the Max Factor. You
know? A wise choice in hindsight.
Yeah. I know he. Yeah, no, he was. I mean, he became popular very early, you know, in the 60s. Like in a short time with the band and that. I mean, in short years. And just once he started recording, then I mean that really lifted him. I mean, we probably had a fantastic life tour in show business. If I go back over all the details, you know. But I mean, at the time, I suppose. We kind of just took it that it was just the way you do it when you're in the band business. You know, you get the dates and you play the shows and have a few drinks and have a few rows and you know all that goes with it.
I mean, Joe came up during that incredible show band era of the 60s, yet, you know, even when that kind of went out of the limelight or the spotlight, his popularity endured. Did he do anything differently into the 70s, 80s, 90s and beyond, or did he just stick with what he'd always done, even during the show band era, and that's still what was so compelling about it, what attracted audiences?
Well, I suppose we'll call it the show band years. If you look back on the history of it, it probably was Jim Rillans in Longford that started building these ballrooms that weren't in Ireland at the time. In our early days, it was all probably parochial halls you were playing in. But once Rillans started and he built that hall up in Moat, was the first one he built. And it brought people from Tullamore and Athlone and Mullingar all together, So it changed people's outlook on going to a show. Like it wasn't really a local show all the time, So it did spread the people. That was one of the things, and then I suppose the band business done it, But the way I look at it is probably the history of it. If you look back, like it was probably the 40s that dancing business was in America. And in the 50s, it was in England for about 10 years. And then it came to Ireland. And it lasted, looking back on it, we used to say it was over. But that's a long, long time ago now, and it's still not over in Ireland. People like to dance.
Yeah, that is
but
for
dancing, we say, jiving and that type of thing. I don't think that's popular in England at all. It's probably more kind of disco dancing that they do now. But looking, that kind of was the history of it. As far as when I look back on it, it's if you want the history, I'll be able to tell you. But I won't be able to tell you exactly what I did yesterday.
But you can remember way back when, which is good for us to fill in a bit of the background. How special is it for you and other members of the family to, nearly 20 years after your brother's passing, to see the annual Joe Dolan Tour? Still selling out venues nationwide?
Well, we've very, very good audiences, and they were very receptive, really good. I had a bit of a forward of the days, but I don't know, if I wasn't doing it, I wouldn't have anything to look forward to. I think if you don't have something to look forward to, it's on the rocky road,
Yeah, and I suppose you want to continue. It's what you've always known. You want to continue to doing what brings you happiness and joy, and brings others happiness and joy as a consequence.
I won't. I will have to just kind of decide to retire, maybe after this year. Once we have the tour done, it's a bit much. I don't mean it's a strain on me, but it's a bit much just to think you can keep going forever,
Yeah, well, look, if these are the final times of you going out there, you're going out on a high. It's not just you though. There's Joe's niece Sandra, nephews Adrian Ray, singer Karen Carroll, members of Joe's original backing band. How important is it, Ben, that this remains a real family celebration of Joe's life?
Oh no! We have a good show, and all the songs we sing were songs that Joe recorded. So except for me, but I wouldn't really into singing any of his. They're a little bit tougher than I'd expect, So, but I know it's a nice show, really nice show, and the people are lovely. I find them, no matter where we go, the way they bunch up and gather around you after it. It definitely makes me feel good.
So for people heading along on Saturday, Ben, what can they expect? Is it a mix of storytelling and the big hits people know and love? Are there deeper cuts from Joe's back catalogue?
Well, it's a kind of just as he explained it. It's just like that, We tell a few jokes. I don't mean that we're into telling jokes, because I used to think long ago, all singers want to tell jokes and all comedians want to sing.
Yeah, there is a bit of that, all right.
There is a good bit of that around. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Saturday. Anyway, at the moment.
Well, I'm sure, yeah. I'm sure it'll be as busy and a great atmosphere as any time you bring the tour to Clare and to Ennis. So it's this Saturday, the 28th of February, Remembering Joe, the annual Joe Dolan Tour. Ben, thanks so much for joining us. Always great to have a chat with you, and I know you and the rest of the family and the band are going to get a great reception on Saturday. Thanks for having a chat with us about...
Well, thanks very much. Thanks very much for having me on anyway. Thank you.
No problem.
I hope to see all my good friends on Saturday night.